Are we waiting on Carlos or?
Carlos is out. Pete, whenever you're ready to kick it off, you can drive it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I can just kick it off here. Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Just always reminders, we do have a code of conduct for the llm-d project. You can find a link to it there. If you're not yet in the Slack, you can join it by following that link. We do have a pretty detailed community page. That's a good entry point if you're new to llm-d. You can pop in there and learn about the different projects that are happening inside of here. Just want to call out that we do have a new blog post that we shipped just today on the llm-d blog. So huge kudos to everyone who was involved in that. Really awesome post, detailed, and please share that out if you see it on the socials. We'll be posting that out over the rest of this week and next week, and getting that out there for more folks to see. And then upcoming llm-d events, places where you'll find the contributors and other folks involved in the project. Coming up at PyTorch out in San Francisco, as well as KubeCon Atlanta, and AMD Developer Day was added. So that's pretty cool as well. So that's all I've got on the community side. So I'll pass it back over to you, Rob.
Cool. Sounds good. Is there any open forum items folks want to cover today? Any ad hoc topics? All right. Maybe we can dive into the SIG updates to give everyone an overview. Tyler, do you want to start with PD Disag?
Yeah, Carlos usually pings me earlier in the day to update these.
He's off. So yeah.
Yeah. Main update is we're in the thick of things. We're trying to get VLLM 0.11.0. So this has kind of gone back and forth between names, but the 0.11.0 release will have, mainly we're going to make YDP pretty solid in this release, especially for the throughput cases. There will be a little bit more to do, specifically for latency optimized deployments, but really targeting like the really high concurrency, think like 20,000 concurrent requests sort of system here. We have a few open issues on B200 that we're working through, some out of memory issues, some illegal memory access issues, and some hangs. So that's specifically on B200 GKE. We're also running into some new issues that look like regressions on H200 with illegal memory accesses when dual batch overlap is turned on. So working through that as well. Main kind of like features have landed. There's one still missing, which is sort of an extension of support for TP attention plus EP-MOEs. So it's a performance bug fix that we applied to DeepSeek already, and I have a work in progress PR to apply to other cases. We also have some new models that are coming out. So the Qwen 3 VL, Qwen 3 Next series is out, as well as some others that might make it into the release depending on when that goes out the door. But yeah, high level is working through issues.
Sounds good. The other piece I think to mention here is we also, thanks to the CoreWeave folks, have a pretty large cluster to do some experiments on. So we'll be ratcheting this up and publishing a report on the YDP next week. All right. Inference schedule. Oh,
Rob,
sorry.
really quickly. Oh, go ahead, Christopher.
I know, you go first.
I was just going to ask, do we have an ETA on the 0.11 release?
The items Tyler is talking about are the release blockers. So as soon as we fix these issues.
Sounds good.
So I can't do better. Hopefully ASAP, hopefully today. It won't be today. Hopefully by end of week.
Yeah. Christopher?
Yeah, there's just been some interest recently in llm-d support for GPT OSS. I know, Tyler, I've talked to you a little bit about this offline, but I was just wondering if I could get a quick understanding of kind of what are the blockers for that right now and what the kind of timetable might be for that to be entering into the community.
Yeah,
I
so
think-
specifically like PD's supported, just like intelligent routing supported. The thing that isn't well supported at all is YDP.
Okay.
You know, issues there are, you know, the model definition is you know, it's a little bit I'll say like non-standard. So a lot of the things that we've done to apply you know, quantization formats, like the way we integrate quantization schemes, the way the model definition fits into the rest of VLLM is a little bit more awkward for GPT OSS compared to like a DeepSeek, a Qwen, etc. So there's some issues there. There's also issues with sort of like the data type involved here. So like GPT OSS is MXFP4, which is a pretty you know, it's a little non-standard, right? So that's like, it's nice because AMD supports this, but it is a little bit weirder than, you know, a lot of models are BF16, FP8. And so like, if we wanted to deploy a YDP deployment, we would, you know, the most natural data type there is a block quantized FP8 format. So we don't have that. And then also like, doing that, like making one of those is harder because we'd have to support it in LLM compressor, this non-standard model, and also support the
Right.
quantization form. Yeah, so there's like, it's just like,
It's a much bigger
it's
issue than
messy.
just one single blocker. I got it.
But I will say, like, I do think that, like, you know, when we look at a model like GPT OSS, like there's a 20B and a 120B parameter like version of the model. And so like, you know, we have these different well-lit paths. The YDP places is still underway, but like, you know, if we look at like PD disaggregation with GPT OSS, like, you know, like I'm getting like 25 to 40%, you know, kind of speed ups, you know, across like the serving range for like this model. So I don't think it's like, I don't think the overall message should be that like GPT OSS and llm-d don't work together. It's like many of the major features that we have are like ready to go and like should be used like right away. It's just this YDP space where we're still working on optimizing things. Yeah.
Cool. I made a note of that, and then I'll let the right people know that they can still try it out, but the YDP part is still yet to come. So thank you.
Cool. All right. Okay, Vita, I know you guys have been out, but any update you wanted to give on InfraScheduler?
Yeah, I think the Israel team is on holiday. Maybe Kellen can update.
Yeah. Mainly just focusing on getting this release out. I wanted to check with everyone in the meeting after this to make sure we're green light. We do have NRC upstream for a patch, which is exclusively Helm changes. So I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page of how that's all going to fit together. But that's basically it.
Sounds good. Maroon, did you want to give update on the, or is Danny on, or either of you guys want to give an update on the offloading? I know there's been some big progress the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed, big progress. It finally landed. It's in VLM, and we'll be working on the well-lit path next, introducing it to llm-d. Lots of thanks to Nikhil for all his reviews in the past weeks. Another update is the blog has been released, like Pete said. Please give it a look, and we're happy to get feedback.
Sounds good. All right. Benchmarking, either Marcio or Ashok.
Yeah, on benchmarking, we have the 0.3.0 release notes there. If you're interested in all the things that are going into that on the benchmarking side, please take a look at that one. And we have the benchmarking data now available in a public Google Drive. So this is for all well-lit paths. The data is compiled, and you also have a Jupyter notebook with like different charts analyzing things where you can like see for my lane PSLO, what is the best throughput I can get, and which parallelism config provides me the best throughput and things like that. Yeah, a lot of great work from Nick and others on getting this out. So we still have more well-lit paths to add to that one. So yeah, watch out for new things getting added there. And lastly, on the capacity planner side, there has been some improvements on how with like different parallelism we can find you the right mission config for you to deploy llm-d, the different parts that we have. Those are the main ones. There are also more bug fixes and improvements going into the benchmarking CI/CD that is happening as well.
Alrighty, sounds good. Observability.
Hey, yeah, SIG leads were away last week. We didn't have our meeting. So I just want to reach out now if there's anyone on the call that has an update they'd like to include besides the two that are listed. We have our meetings on Thursday, so the next meeting will be tomorrow. So the Gateway API, yeah, Kellen mentioned that it's not in release 0.5. So the Service Monitor edition is what enables you to scrape the metrics easily. So I noticed all of the guides pull in release 0.5.1 branch of GAIE. What are the plans around that and updating to like the main branch, or what would be the main branch release? Does anyone have any info on that? Because every time I deploy, I have to like go and switch it out and deploy from local checkout of GAIE charts. Anyone know? All right. And then, yeah, Clayton did a great review of the tracing proposal, and I've been trying to get time to get back to it and update it, but I'll work on that with the community in the meeting tomorrow too. Yeah. Christopher?
Yeah, so this is somewhat related to observability. I know, Sally, I've already talked to you about it. There was a couple of SREs here from the Red Hat side, and then some potentially in the community that were interested in potentially forming a SIG reliability group around llm-d, really focusing more on what are the SLIs, SLOs, how does that relate back to certain SLAs that we're seeing in industry. This could be something that's combined with observability, obviously, because that's a closely related subject, or it could be something that's separate. But I wanted to bring it up to the group here, see if there's any interest.
Or also with the performance or benchmarking.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that like overall, the overall like I think challenge that we'll face is like the concept of like stability, reliability, like failover, basically is like tightly coupled with each one of the individual like well-lit paths that we have. And so I think that like at least when we were scoping out like the 0.4 release kind of roadmap side of the house, like when I think about 0.1, 0.2, 0.1 was like, let's get the project started. 0.2 was like two of the well-lit paths starting to come together in terms of overall performance. 0.3 is big step forward in the YDP well-lit path, and continued improvements along the well-lit paths, like getting the performance all kind of settled in as the first step. So I think we can make like robustness of the overall system like a key kind of like North Star across all of the SIGs for the 0.4 piece. But I think I would hesitate to like try to splinter off another SIG that's like specifically focused on this, because I really do think we have to go like well-lit path by well-lit path and kind of and just have this as like one of the overall goals for the like 0.4. So I think it can be a big theme of what we do, and I agree with you, like it's really needed, especially as we start to get close to being able to do like a 1.0 of this stuff, where we start to kind of say that it's commercially usable, right? So
I'll work with that group then on trying to get them incorporated with Sally's group and maybe the benchmarking group, just so that we're starting to pull some of that thought leadership into this community, because all of them are pretty well respected in the SRE world. So I'll work on that in conjunction with Sally, and then we can kind of see where to go from there.
That'd be great.
Cool.
I think it's gonna be a great story for where we go for the next the 0.4. Yeah. All right. Anything else on observability?
Nope, we're good.
Okay, cool. Autoscaling, you guys want to jump in?
Yeah, sure. So we did a pre-release of our autoscaler. Previously, we were calling it as Inferno because of legacy reasons, but now the whole doc and the release is updated. We now call it WVA, which stands for workload variant autoscaling. We are while we have some simulated or / emulated tests, we are now testing this on OpenShift using guide LLM and consuming data sets that represent three characteristics: decode heavy, prefill heavy, and mixed. And the same testing we are trying to do it on heterogeneous GPUs, and we'll report any interesting results that we may come across.
Sounds good.
And just one question. So you test different models of GPUs here, but not different vendor, or what have you tested?
So currently we have tested this on E100s and H100s. The next step is to test it on L40s. If the community has AMDs, we would like to test it. As I said, legacy implementation Inferno worked with Gaudi, AMD, NVIDIA. But I mean, this new version has only been tested with NVIDIA because we don't have other vendors' resources yet to test with.
Perhaps I contact you, Abhishek, because we have one session at KubeCon about this multi-accelerator, so I can connect with you.
Great. Thank you.
Alrighty. Now, just a quick question on the autoscaling stuff. Do we think like the first kind of like well-lit path is something we'll target for 0.4 timeframe, or is this, kind of further out? I'm just curious. Yeah.
I think it may be before 0.4, right?
Okay.
That's what we are targeting.
That's for the, okay. So it would be in the 0.4 like release timeframe that we would potentially try to publish the first path. Yeah.
Right.
Cool. All right. Installation, Greg, you want to go?
Yeah. So we've got a PR there tracking the V03 upgrade. SIG leads, please take a look if you can. We think this is pretty close. There's some final pieces that we want to include for the GKE tests. But this should be a majority of the V2 to V3 upgrade. Other work that's not tracked that we have slated for release outside of this would be adding HTTP routes for GKE for the other two examples, including EPP metrics. This was Sally's PR. I want to work with her and rebase this. The GKE wide EP refactor that Song is working on. And then we want to extend the inference scheduling and PD disag examples to work for XPU, which those image builds merged, I think earlier today, actually. If you are a SIG lead and there's more work that you expect to go into SIG this release and it's not tracked there, please meet with me and we can understand what else we need to do. I guess in terms of CI/CD, these are like other things for the image specifically. What we hope to include are SC cache builds just for better performance on the PPLX kernel builds. The bump to DPP 1.2.1, we had some weird results with this. We'll need to verify that it's actually working with the data parallel stuff. And then once everything is shipshape and all the PRs have been rebased against main, we're going to delete the dev branch. So if you have outstanding PRs in the main repo, please move the branch, please rebase them. If not, your work will get lost when we delete that branch when we do the release. And then another thing that we want to include is the end-to-end test for XPU, which we talked about. Some work that's getting deferred, the ROCm AMD support, we've had kind of a lack of responsiveness there, so hoping that'll come into play, but for now it's going to be excluded, I guess, from release unless there are updates there. The safer build patterns, we're also deferring this. I don't want to break CI for image builds as we're preparing for release. And then GDS implementation, we are also deferring for outside this release. The two things I weren't sure about was the CUDA bump to 12.9 and selective PD. I tagged Tyler and Marin there. Please let me know if we are including that for release. And that's kind of it. I also suggest we make a new release pattern, but we can talk about that later after this release.
Sounds good. Great. Any other topics folks want to cover? All right. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks.
Bye-bye.